is Channel 10 Nelson, your community access television. Programming on this channel is made by local volunteers. If you would like to be a part of your community television, please call 354-4200 or write to Shaw Cable, 613 Ward Street, Nelson, V1L1T2.
Good evening. This summer at the Kootenay Lake Summer School of the Arts in Nelson, we have a number of distinguished visiting artists. The video we're about to see is called 4 Stones for Kanemitsu, and it was sent to us by stone lithographer and Notre Dame University graduate Todd Fry, who now lives in Utah. He will be teaching a course in stone lithography, which was first invented in 1798 and means literally writing on stone. Todd will be teaching the course here between July 22nd to the 26th. Artists of all persuasions, people with absolutely no experience, are invited to try their hand at this really intriguing and ancient form of printmaking. In the video, you will see the collaboration of a Japanese artist, a French lithographer, an American lithographer, and finally the role played by an American curator in the distribution of the beautiful prints that are made. We'll start now with the polishing of the stone which is used in the printmaking.
To grind a stone by hand, the process is a little bit slow. It takes about 2 hours, 2 hours and a half. By hand, I can put more concentration on my graining. After graining the stone, I clean my stone with clean water. I can't leave any carbide. Just one little tiny thing. So when you start to graining, then you get scratch on the stone. Then I will wipe up that stone with news blank. And dry out with, how do you say, fan? We say moulinet. I use the hydraulic lift to save my back, because some stones, they are so heavy. A little stone, let's say 22 by 30, will weigh maybe 150 pounds sometimes. But we have some stone in the stone, it was 600 pounds.
I like a paint. I like to smell the oil. It's a beautiful thing to me. And I paint regularly. Yes, I have to paint. This is my life. I come from New York School. I'm interested in natural space, in the color, and action.
In the shop, I have a selection of stone, and each stone is accompanying with a number. That stone I picked up for Mike was 105. It was a beautiful light gray, because I knew that Mike Kanamitsu will wish to do, beautiful wash.
When I look at a stone, it's almost like to me, wow, that kind of feeling.
The first thing I asked an artist is, what will be the size of the print? On this case, the size was 22 by 30. So I did a tracing on the stone with chalk sanguine, Conte crayon exactly. I did T-mark. The first T-mark I did on the first stone, I'm going to transfer on the second stone. From those marks, we'll be able to register the paper on the stone.
Mostly, I don't sketch. I work directly in a touche ink. But sometimes I use a Conte crayon to do for the under sketch. The Conte crayon won't affect the stone in any way. It doesn't take.
The first wash I mixed for Mike is a water wash, and I mix 3 different strengths, heavy, medium, and light. I make it in the very old tradition, and I use my hand because the process is really slow, and if I want to avoid bubbles and stuff like that, we have to do that really slow, really, really slow.
Lithothene tush is a solvent tush as opposed to having the paste tush mixed with water. Tush is basically high-powered grease.
I checked with Mike if he wants to do some gum mask out, and he said yes. So I set up a little ball of gum mixed with red chalk. The chalk give it color so the artist can see it. Where the artist draws with the gum, the stone will be protected.
I use the gum just the reverse from using the tush. The gum come out white. I like to work fast. The speed is very important for me. My visual consciousness and unconsciousness and subconsciousness, whoever it is, it's come out fast as possible. So I need the speed. I have an idea what kind of work I'm going to do. 6, 7 color possible. And then I change my mind to limit 4 color.
The drawing has to dry. Sometimes it takes 2-3 hours before we start processing it.
The rosin is put on the image as an acid resist. It strengthens the image and as protection.
I set up my edge, and it depends. If those wash are fairly heavy, I will use a pH between 1.5 or 2. For this drawing, I have to make a very strong edge. I have to use 4 ounces of gum arabic, and I will pour 20 or 25 drops of nitric acid for every ounce.
The talc adheres to the ink and draws the edge or the gum and acid closer to each particle of the image.
Before I apply gum and acid on a stone, I have to use pure gum to remove the gum mascot that Mike did.
The etch changes the surface of that stone to another chemical composition. The negative area of the stone attracts water. This enables us to do lithography. When the stone is wet, it stays wet. Basically, it's this water film repelling the grease of the ink, so the ink just sticks onto the drawn area of the drawing.
I put just a little ink on my roll, and I roll it up on the inking slab. The ink should be distributed on the roll evenly. So you have to roll up your roll until it's nice, smooth, and even. Soon I'm ready to roll up the stone. The first thing we have to do is to wash out the drawing with lithotin. I can't roll up a stone on top the drawing that an artist just did. We have to wash it out with lithotin. Lithotin will dissolve that greasy material. It's a little bit scary because after washing out that drawing, we can't see anything on that stone except a little shadow. But the stone will remember that drawing.
The gum is actually protecting the drawing. The washes are so fine. For us to get the drawing washed out, we have to break the film by breathing on it. We use asphaltum to put a greasy surface back onto the stone after washing out the drawing. This gives the black ink a good surface to attach itself to for the rolling up process. The water activates the adsorbed gum film. The water has to be present while the printer is rolling on the stone, or else the whole stone will roll up in whatever color he's rolling.
If you roll up a stone too fast, it's no good. If you roll up a stone too slow, it's no good either. If you use too much ink, then everything is getting dark so fast you don't have time to realize what's happened. After my stone has been rolled up, I checked the drawing because I didn't want to go too far. This is a thing you have to check with artists. A lithotin touche is so greasy that it doesn't take a lot to get dark.
The artist is very anxious to see what it looks like, but due to the process, we just can't hurry, and he has to wait.
From a news blank, you can't learn a lot from that. News blank doesn't give you a good idea. My stone is ready to put a good print on good paper. Calendar it.
I'm not an expert on the paper, so I need a help from printer. I select tough paper for black and white, and medium texture paper for the color.
That front is a touch light. I'm going to try to bring him up a little bit more, and this will be stronger than now. Okay, I'm going to put on acetate now. I set up the second stone. I roll up my stone and I pull an acetate from that stone. This means I try to get a good proof, not on good paper, but just on a marlar. Then I set up that marlar on a new stone, second stone, and Mike, from that transparency, this will guide him to do the second drawing. And everything he does will transfer on the stone.
Lithograph is a very direct media, like you paint direct in a painting in a canvas, or doing for the wash drawing in the black and white, or color and watercolor. And somehow it's very close for the painter, the media, because you walk directly to the stone. Then I started thinking about what color I'm gonna use it. Heart color against core color. Heart color against the heart color. Or core color against the core color.
So they should go on 3 colors. Before we start proofing, I check with Mike what's going to be the first color for the stone. Sometimes you have to do 2 or 3 different colors, try proof.
The second stone is the process, and then proof. Then I draw the third stone, and the third stone is proved. I drew the fourth stone. Each stone has to be proved separately. To draw the stone take 3 or 4 days. After they have all been proved, then the printer began to combine the images to put them together.
The paper has to be registered correctly so all the colors fall in place and the final print looks the way the artist wants it to look. I mean, there's no overlap of colors or white areas showing. It has to be perfectly on line.
First, the color print come out. I'm not too happy about that. The color is too soft and little too sweet.
To me, it was not really strong enough. Something was missing. No expression.
I expect to come out everything in the first shot. I'm not depressed, but how can I do? I have to do all over again.
Soon we start proofing. Mike is like everybody else. He wants to see with the first stone 2-3 color different. Then we just combine, the second plate with the first plate with 3 other different color. When you start proofing, you are so involved. You suggest and you work and let's try this, let's try that, let's see how we look. If you start with the first one, then you reach for the second one because you are so anxious to see those both colors together. And then the third stone, it's really exciting.
I tried so many different try proof, different color, and I began to confuse myself a little bit. And I began to like every one of them. Each one of them have an individual personality. Now, my problem is what you want. And I like them all, but this green is not interesting. I thought about the green. It's beautiful. But since one of the other color is a soft red, close to pink, it's a little too sentimental. And that particular print, I don't want a sentimental. I want diabotic romanticism, strong romanticism. The blue come out more close to what I want.
BAT means bon attiré, okay to pour. You have a try proof, and the artist likes it, so he's going to sign bon attiré. This means the edition should be that way.
Before I sign a BAT, you have to think twice. Timing and mood have to do with. The printer smile at you, and he looks so happy the print, soft enough the artist's heart, But that particular print, yes, I was very happy to sign a BAT.
Each color usually takes a day to pour, and it has to dry at least overnight before we can print the next color on top of it. For a kind of image like Mike did, between the proofing and running, it should take at least a week.
Most people like to proof, but I get very impatient. I like the total feeling of the running of the edition, and I try to make my runs go as fast and as smooth as possible. The sponger is responsible for keeping the stone wet, for checking each print, checking it for any flaws, any scum from the inking, keeping track of how many prints are pulled, and he informs the printer of any problem that might arise. He just keeps total eye on the whole situation.
You have to do each color at the right time, not too dry and not too wet. Because if it's too wet, you get offset and reject, and if it's too dry, you get reject again.
Good.
I have to use a lot of pressure to clean up the drawing because sometimes we have scum and everything close up. So sometimes the rolling shouldn't have any pressure, and sometimes it should have a lot just to clear up that drawing.
Looks good. It's the sponger's obligation to keep the printer informed of how the edition is running and to check each print with the BAT. If the print comes up light, dark, has scum, has a finger mark, it is destroyed and is not in the edition.
The stone could break, because that pressure is 2,000 pounds, and this is a lot for a stone. So you have to be really careful. I just touch light on top. When I'm working, I hate to talk because I put so much concentration on what I'm doing, and I won't smile. This is my nature. I start smiling when I'm through with an edition. So I finish putting the last print, and I go over to my edition. I mean, I check from the beginning, see if my edition was really regular, nice printing, and sometimes I used to put one away, see a touch light.
After all color is finished, I thought about keystone, and I decided I like to keep the stone on the black and white. And I changed it just a little bit. I put in a bird, in a crow. Something exotic about a crow. And a crow is my personal secret.
After a period of time, if the artist decides to do something else, what you have to do is to contrast again, desynthesize the stone, and just go ahead. We struck a small edition of the second version. Mike, one more. That's it, Mike. That's it. No more. Soon I'm sure that the edition is good. The artist has to cancel that stunt. It's really sad to do that because sometimes it took an artist a long time to do that drawing and then he has to destroy it, but he has to do it because we don't want anybody else putting more print. So we have to show that the key drawing has been destroyed.
The curator checks the edition after they've had a chance to dry, usually a day or two after printing. Defects one can't see when the ink is wet sometimes show up after drying. I compare each print to the bon naturel. Any that do not compare favorably with it are destroyed. I have to be sure that every print has been properly signed and documented.
I hate the sign, so dull, it's so boring, Keep repeating your name, M. Kanemitsu or Kanemitsu, etc. Number 1, -20, number 2, -20, and I hate it. But you must sign, it's important.
The chop goes way back to the ancient Chinese seals. Put on every finished print, which signifies that we have passed its technical quality. The printers have unique chop marks which they design themselves. On the back of the impression we write an identification number. It's the key to documentation and all records to this edition.
Well, we finished. We have a happy moment and sad moment or the angry moment, but it's all done.